debate and live streams from across the UK and Europe, you can track the decisions that affect your future. Go to bbc.co.uk/Democracy Live for a closer look.
46 athletes, 23 countries and one dream.
My dream for me is to get the Olympic gold.
That's the greatest thing that anyone can want.
Follow their training and find out what drives them.
I wake up pretty much every morning and I do look forward to the day. I live in a fantastic place to train and it really is a motivation.
I've got so much on my plate all the time with schoolwork and training. At the moment I'm just looking towards the end of my exams.
I have a team around me. This is my second family. Only in sport you can have this kind of emotion.
The Countdown to London 2012 on BBC News, Radio 5 Live and at bbc.co.uk/2012.
A major breakthrough in the bitter British Airways cabin crew dispute. The union representing the crew says it has finally reached an agreement with the airline after 18 months of disputes.
As you know, we've been meeting our members today. There's nearly 2,000 of them in there in order to explain the negotiations and discussions that have been taking place over the last 3 or 4 weeks with British Airways management. I'm delighted to report that those discussions have reached a point where we believe we've achieved an honourable settlement to a very...
The former Chief Secretary to the Treasury, David Laws, is to be suspended from the Commons for 7 days over his expenses claims. A 91-year-old man is found guilty of helping to kill thousands of Jews at a Nazi death camp during the Second World War. Thousands of people in Spain remain outdoors, too frightened to go home after the earthquakes which killed at least 10 people. And after 21,645 days on the throne, Queen Elizabeth has become the second longest-serving monarch in British history.
And I'll be here with all the sports news later in the hour on the BBC News channel as the Scottish Premier League title race is overshadowed by last night's touchline assault on the Celtic manager Neil Lennon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the BBC News at 1. After 18 months of bitter disputes, British Airways has finally reached an agreement with the union representing its cabin crew, which could bring an end to the strikes. Industrial action, which was due to start next week, has been called off. The agreement will now be put to a ballot of the union's cabin crew members. The strike action has cost British Airways more than £150 million and caused major disruption for thousands of passengers. Let's go straight to our business correspondent, John Moylan, who's at Heathrow. John.
Yes, we have an honourable agreement. That was how the leader of the Unite Union tried to sell this new deal to cabin crew staff who've been gathering for this mass meeting in this marquee behind me. And just about half an hour ago, we got confirmation through a show of hands that the deal had been almost unanimously agreed. Now that signals the end to what has been a very long and bitter dispute. It was a day many BA